with the Sketer for just a bit. I had yet to go live with this particular vehicle, but I'm doing it now. Answer you guys' questions with this. I've had it for a week. I actually wanted to run it for a while before I actually went live with it, just to see how it would hold up. So we'll give this a few minutes because it does take a couple minutes for YouTube to kind of notify people. And I know this wasn't a planned live, so we'll give it a minute or two to see who joins in. And while we're waiting on notifications to come out, I will start to talk a little bit. What's going on, Addicted RC? How you doing? Figured I'd go live with this Sketer for a couple minutes. It's been about a week since I've had it, so there's probably going to be a lot of questions about this vehicle, and I wanted to make sure I ran the car several times and got through some stuff before I actually went live. So, what's up, Domes RC? You guys notice the live video, so it's not going to be, of course, the clearest, and there may be some shaking and stuff going on. But what's going on, Guy and RC Metals from Montreal? How's that weather up there? I appreciate that. H. Rivera says always supporting my channel and stuff, man. I appreciate it. Springfield, Massachusetts. Okay, we got a couple guys, so this is good. This is coming through. So if you guys can, I'd appreciate it if you smash that like button. We got about 15, 20 people coming in. Yeah, I figured it'd probably be cold up there. We got RC Adventure. Sorry, you guys are coming in, so I'm trying to make sure. RC Predator, what's going on? You guys are coming in, so I'm just trying to make sure I acknowledge you guys. I appreciate you coming on first time, catching you. Okay. What's going on, Jeremy? What's going on, Fred from Denver, Colorado? So I've run this car a lot. I've run it off a lot more than I've even filmed. And actually, one of my buddies has one. A couple of my buddies actually have them now, and we actually ran them today. So I wanted to go live to show this thing up to you guys close, and answer any question you may have, because this is actually a good truck. Team Corrali actually got this one right. So I think going forward they'll be really good with their design. So, oh dang, a foot and a half of snow. Woo. Yeah, that'd be good to do some RCing. We got about barely a quarter inch. I mean, it stuck to the grass and to the trees, but it didn't really stick to the streets. And that was about a week ago. It's been cold. If it would have rained today, we would have got some snow, because it was 25, like 23 this morning when I was out trying to film this running. So I do miss the snow, but I hate the aftermath after it snows a couple days later and stuff, and then it just don't go away. So this is the Team Corrali Sketer. So this is the latest, greatest, newest truck from Team Corrali. They teased this a couple months ago. We were kind of waiting for this to come in stock, get here to the States, and it's finally here. And I took it out and I ran the crap out of it. And I figured I hadn't went live yet. And I usually go live with the first couple days I have a car, but I wanted to run this more so that if you guys ask me questions, I'd be able to answer them, to tell you good, bad, whatever it may be. So, ooh, close to 0% Fahrenheit. Oh my gosh, yeah. I think it got to a high of about 30, I don't know, 36 today, and now it's down to about 30 right now. So nothing what you guys are experiencing. But Georgia weather is kind of interesting. So if you guys can, if you're joining on, go ahead and smash that like button for me, because the YouTube algorithm is all over the place, and I've talked to them several times before. And the like button does help. Like or dislike. So, all right, got a couple more people joining. What's going on, guys? So right now we're talking about snow and blizzard and all this. I'm kind of scrolling through these. If I miss some people, I do apologize. I'm not trying to. RC Addicted from Alaska. I'm just kind of scrolling down to the bottom and seeing what's going on. So, where's my Granite at? The same place where my Vortex is at and my Big Rocket. They're actually all being worked on. I've broke some drive shafts on those cars and stripped some gears and stuff. So they're all kind of being worked on right now. I'm going to try to work on they have a CNC machine gears for those vehicles, so they're pretty expensive. but I'm trying to work on getting. I'm just gonna work on one car at a time. So I'm gonna actually start with the newest and then work my way back. So I'm gonna go with the Vortex first. I'm gonna get that going. Then I'll go Granite, Big Rock, Typhon, etc. So those are all being worked on. Those are where my 3S cars are right now. So just in case you guys want to know. Oh, that's funny. Somebody said they brought a girl up to Wisconsin, never seen an ice lake before. These are actually fun on an ice lake, watching them just drift around and stuff. So what questions do you guys have for this vehicle? I know I didn't plan this go live video or anything like that, but I want to know questions you guys may have for this. Is it good? Is it bad? Price range comparisons. This is kind of the time to open up to hear my thoughts on it, hear you guys' thoughts on it. And of course, you want to hear about other companies compared to this too. I'm not going to, mask any of that. So somebody's asked me what do I think about Red Cat. Red Cat has come a long way since what they were about 8 years ago. So they've got some pretty good vehicles out there. I can't think of it for some reason. My mind's going blank, but they got a almost 8 scale vehicle that will be in competition with this. Shoot, it's not the volcano. I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's about 329 right now, and it does run 4S2. So that vehicle's out there. So they do have vehicles out there, and they have actually stepped their game up. The Kaiju and the Kaiju EXT, some of their latest releases, and those are good trucks. They do have the rear turnbuckles, like they do have some issues with it, but I heard they got some upgrades for it. But there's nothing wrong with Red Cat. They've really stepped their game up. So, um, sorry, going back with this. Supposed to play with the granite and the snow. Do you think this is better than the Max? Uh, the Max V1, yes, I do. Especially since the Max V1, you got to get the Y kit for it and stuff. The Max V2, this is going to be $100 cheaper. The big thing about these Team Karate cars, they are at 489. Or I should say, this Team Karate car is that you do get a center differential with this one, and you do get aluminum drive shafts and dog bones and stuff for it. So that is a big plus. And then of course you get this tower to tower brace and stuff in it. And it's 3 and 4S capable. You guys saw this morning I did run 6S on this motor, but not on the ESC. So this is basically an 8 scale that's kind of shrunk down. You get aluminum chassis. I know some people, aluminum's a big ordeal. It doesn't matter to me as long as it's durable and it doesn't make the vehicle too heavy. And you guys see how thick those shock towers and stuff are. So is it better than the Max? The Max V1, I would say yes, because you gotta spend an extra $100 just to make it a Y conversion, make it handle good. It really needs that Y kit on it. The Max V2 already comes with the Y kit on it, and the Max V2 is faster than this out the box. It's hit about 43, so you get about 43 to 45 with this. And I think the Max was in what, the high 40s or so. So the Max out the box is going to be faster than this, but this is going to be more durable than the Max because of a lot of the aluminum components on it. The Max V2, that is. So, and this runs at 489. So, and this is 10th scale. It's a little big for a 10th scale, but it's a little, I showed you guys that it's just a tad bit bigger than my Haas and my Stampede. I think I have my Haas on the table, but it's a tad bit bigger than my Haas, but it's not hugely big, kind of like the Max V2, because the Max V2 was maybe about an inch or two, inch and a half or so longer than this one. It's a little bit wider, but the Max V2, I don't know, that's like a 9th scale, really close to 8th scale. But what's going on? If you guys are joining in, I appreciate you. Smash that like button. We're just kind of having an open Q&A on the new Team Karate Sketer. I'm here to answer questions. I haven't went live with this yet because I wanted to run the vehicle first just to see how it held up. I wanted to make sure electronics held up and parts and stuff held up. And you guys saw some of the videos that I put out there. I did take it through its paces, and it's been about a week. So I've run this a dozen times or more. And actually, a couple of my friends got this too. So, all right, sorry, but I'm trying to go back to the comments. I don't want to just yap. I want to make sure I'm reading these and going back to you guys. Yeah, Mr. Danny asked, how does it handle the hand? Does it react good? Yes, it actually does. One of my friends who got one, he ran this for the first time, or actually he put a Jeep body on. He ran it for the first time for me today, and he liked the way it handled. he still had it stock out the box, and of course I ran mine with the 15 in it, so he knows the potential that it can get there. And we run a lot of monster trucks. I may not film and show that, but we actually do. And he loved the way it handled. So he wasn't dissatisfied with the price he paid for with what he got. The Django 246, I actually have something I just got in today. It depends on how much you want to build on a kit. If you want to build a kit from scratch or you want to get one that's almost ready to run. I'll let you guys know since you're on here in your live. I got the Hyper VS2E buggy, and I got the 80% build. I'm going to actually start building on that. So you guys might have seen that in the community feed. So it depends on if you want a kit and what you want to do with it. Tamaya has a lot of those out there. And then Hobayo has some 80% build cars too that you can look at. So all right, going down to these comments. I appreciate if you guys coming on. You smash that like button. What's going on, Father? Family fun. We're just getting started. John says, can you tell me the physical size? Oh, I forgot to get that to you guys. You may be able to go to the Team Karate site or somewhere and look up the specs. They're wanting to know about, and I don't want to move this around too much. Maybe I should probably turn this flash on. That may help out. Does that help out some guys? Sometimes the flash can do too much of a glare. And maybe we'll get this a little bit closer. There we go. So RC Addicted RC says the price is a little high. Everything is high in the RC world. I mean, that's the price of it. It's the price of the hobby. The 489, I didn't mind that too much because I saw what they were doing with this. I mean, the tower to tower brace they have up in here, the basically 8 scale monster truck or 8 scale platform on a 10 scale monster truck was actually pretty good. So I didn't mind that too much. I mean, most cars nowadays, especially if you're trying to get a real good one, is going to cost you 500-600 plus bucks. So the landslide, appreciate that, Mr. Dan. My mind was going blank. The landslide would be a competitor for Red Cat to this because the Kaiju is a 6S truck. The landslide is a 4S truck, and I may actually look at getting that. I had one a long time ago, a couple of years, about 3 years ago. And what was funny was I ordered it, and when I got it, I even did the unboxing. The car was used, and I was upset. And I actually ordered from somebody who had something on YouTube, and he didn't realize. I guess somebody sent me their demo model. So I ended up getting the used model, and I sent it back, and it just kind of put a bad taste in my mouth from ordering that. And it wasn't so much the car's fault, but so the landslide is the other one that I was thinking about. That's a 4S capable truck. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. I may think about pulling a trigger on that. So do you think you can put a Max 6 in it? I'm pretty sure you can because I think this is what a Max 8 re-break or rebrand. So a Max 6 is probably going to fit in there. You probably won't be able to screw it down, but you could probably get in it with some double-sided tape. Of course, a Max 5 will not fit in here. Yeah, it's got aluminum drive shafts. They actually did put the updated drive cups on here. You guys can see the way that's kind of got that copper color to it. So I think this might have been the pilot for what they were trying to do when they were going to release these newer vehicles that are coming out. Like you guys saw that they said the Kronos XTR 2022 version. So I'm pretty sure they're going to start doing updates to all their vehicles going across the line. So yeah, better wheelie bar. Now, there is one thing about the wheelie bar. I did try to adjust this down, so I think I would have to stretch the plastic if I did it. So I could have been just in a rush in a hurry because you guys see the way that curves at an angle. As you move the wheelie bar down, the lowest I could get was this second to the last hole. I couldn't put in the last hole, and it might have been just because I was kind of rushing through. So I just to run the video today, I said screw it. I just adjusted it all the way back up and ran it. And I was thinking that this thing was just going to be just wheeling up and not being in control. But you guys saw in the video, it was very controllable even on 6S. And I still have the punch setting at 3. I did not adjust that. So, sorry, I'm going to get to you guys' comments. I do see this here, so I'm not ignoring you guys. If you can, also smash that like button for me. I'd appreciate it. 6 is the best. 6S is the best. I have a Max running. Yeah, I mean, I like my Max V2 on 4S. It's controllable, it's fun, and I just go out and have fun. I don't need a For me, for those size cars, I don't need something to go over 50 miles per hour because that's when a lot of stuff starts to happen. I think 45 to 50, maybe 55 at the most is enough for me for those size cars. So, um, someone asked about part support. So a lot of these parts are going to be compatible with their current vehicles. Like for instance, the rear drive cups and stuff that is going to be compatible with their 8 scale vehicles they have out right now. I think these dog bone stuff, which I don't think you'll snap them anytime soon. I think you can use the same ones from the Rad 4, 6, and also the Python as well. And then same with some of these components. So this is kind of like from just my interpretation. This is kind of like a 8 scale buggy, but the A arms are a little bit shorter. Possibly, I haven't checked to see if these are the same part numbers as the Rad 6 or 4 or anything, but I'm pretty sure it's either close to it or it is. And then they just kind of built the 10 scale truck around it. If you do get one of these, do get tires that have a wheels that have a wide or half offset. Don't get the 0 offset because I did put some of my power hobby tires and wheels in here, and they went from, you can see my hand from here to right about there. So you do need that half or wide offset tires or wheels if you do upgrade the tires and wheels. So hopefully that answer your question about part support. Um, yep, I working on the VS2 now. I went to Hobbytown. I got some paint and stuff for it, and you guys will see that upcoming because that is an awesome buggy too. I think these companies. Well, I don't think these companies are stepping their game up. I mean, they really are. And I'm gonna say this. Some people are probably gonna hate this or whatever, or say I'm an Arma fanboy. I'm an RC car fanboy, but I love Arma stuff too. But I think Arma kind of pushed the envelope, and these companies see this and they see what we want. They see we want durability stuff. They see we want part support. They see we want upgrades, and we're willing to pay for it if they do it. And I think that's what's happening now. I mean, it's a whole lot of stuff coming out. I mean, even Hobayo's got a 7 scale roller that I'm be trying to get once it gets in stock. And if it wasn't for Arma actually doing a 7 scale, like the Limitless and Fraction, the Felony, I think that those companies probably wouldn't have stepped on that particular ground. We would have been still staying with 8 scale. So somebody AP says, how's the servo? Servo has been great. It has been fine. No problems, no issues, no burnouts, no stripped or anything. And you guys kind of saw the way I was running this in some of my videos. So if you're just joining, I do appreciate if you guys hit that like button for me. We're just talking about the Team Corrali. Sketer, we're kind of got an open Q&A, so you can ask other questions too. People are asking about how does this compare to the cars and stuff. So we'll get into that if you guys want more questions and comparisons to this. So for the X Max are better than, I guess you're asking about the gearing for the X Max. I have left my X Max completely stock. I've just gotten some very good LiPos for it, and I like the way it runs completely stock. I don't need a truck that's that big to go more than 50 miles per hour. And that's just for me. I like to run the X Max stock. It gives me good runtime and stuff. So I haven't changed anything with that. In case you guys are asking about that, I'm going to lower this down some. There we go. And so I can get to these comments a little bit more. Scrolling down here, you guys are, oh, Addicted RC. Well, what are the Team Corrales you want to get? They got the Chronos coming out. I think that's $449. They have this one at $489. So yeah, most important thing is part support, and they have part support now. I believe in the future we're going to see RPM come out with some stuff for this. I think RPM kind of waits a couple of years until a product is out to make sure it's going to continue on before they start doing any part support for this. And we may see some different stuff from Proline, different body mounts. I mean, of course, these are adjustable here, but we may see some stuff for this. I went to Hobbytown. I did try on different bodies. The Jeep Rubicon body that goes on the eRevo and stuff will fit on here. The current body I have on my Max V2 will fit on here. It's a little bit big, but the Rubicon body will fit. And I think we tried the Traxxas Bronco body, and that'll fit on here. So I do plan, I should have did some videos, but I got distracted by that WRX at Hobbytown, so I was kind of drooling over that. But I do plan on at least putting another body on here and talking to you guys about that, because you will have to remove this if you do put some of those other bodies on it, because this will get in the way. Friends got it with a Jeep body on there. I think it's a Proline Jeep body, a pretty old school one, but I got a video of him running that earlier, so I'll put that out there for you. So, uh, I'm getting to you guys' comments, so please don't think I'm ignoring you. Some of these questions I'm kind of getting winded on, so if I get too winded, let me know. So that was part support. Mr. Dane says, I just ordered mine. I just ordered me a build kit belt. Okay. So, Jeremy, this is ready to run. It comes just as you see it here. Stock out the box, you're going to hit about 43 to 45. I would say go to a 14 or 15 tooth pinion gear. I'd say just go to 15 and then check your temps. I run a 15 in it, and that's been the sweet spot. I kind of said that when I first ran it, and I think the 15 is going to be the sweet spot for you. You may be able to get away with a 16, but I'd watch your temps, maybe a 17, but watch your temps on it. So, yeah, this is built solid. I mean, I think that this is going to pave the way for vehicles going forward. I'm going to look at a landslide possibly, um, and then run that because the landslide is 329 and this is 489. And like I said, the one landslide I had, it did need better tires. It did need some oil in the diffs, and it can run 4S LiPo. Um, and I did see a couple of people actually having in the past after I kind of returned mine, and it did seem to run good. So. Yep, AP, you're right on that. So I'm pretty sure they'll come out with an 8 scale, or even it'd be cool if they did a 7 scale, or shoot, a 5th scale of this. You know, the Sketer X, the Sketer triple X or double X or something, and take this and get this like huge. That would be good and keep the build quality good. That's one thing I think they need to do. If they do that, keep the build quality good. Put a low kV motor in it. Don't worry about over gearing it too much. So you get these high speeds. Because if you build something like this big, like X Max, Outcast size, or Creighton size, or something like that, to me, for me, about 45 to 50 is fine for something that's going to be that big. So somebody said a lowrider too said they saw a crazy UFO video. Cool, I have to check that out. If you can, message me and send me that. I'll check that out. Yeah, RCD, I saw some of that. So this can handle 6S, just the ESC can. But I think that if you start putting 6S in and doing crazy stuff, then you possibly will start breaking parts. Because I mean, it does have the width of it is a little bit shorter. But I think 4S is fine. If you want some more speed out of it, gear up, change the punch rating, change the punch setting, and you'll be fine. Trust me on 4S. AP, look at the Max 5 ESC. Yeah, no one was really comparing this to the Arma 3S line. We're still waiting on Arma to release their 4S line. So maybe they got something huge in store for us because it's been a minute. It's been 2 years. I think they were going to release something last year. I saw that on Tower Hobbies and Horizon. I think it was spring, and then it just didn't come out. So I don't know. So it would be cool if they whatever they're gonna come out with. I have no idea. Don't think I do. It would be cool because it'd be good competition. And what's the price range and everything, and what's gonna be the benefit of that over this. So we'll see. What's going on, drones and dogs? How you doing? If you guys can smash that like button for me. We're just having kind of an open Q&A. Of course, there's a live video. I have to stress this. It's not going to be clear. It's probably going to be a little shaky, etc., etc. But this is kind of a live Q&A between myself and you guys, and me talking to you guys, and you guys talking amongst each other. So, what's going on, the Swedish guy? Yeah, that 6S was killer. Now, guys, on 6S, this had a lot more in it. It's just the tire started to balloon, and it was kind of swerving to the left and right. And I could have went ahead and tried to get up to full speed, but it probably would have been flipping all over the place. It probably wouldn't have been the best, and it was like 25 degrees this morning. So of course, a flip and a tumble probably would have broke something. So this has potential because I hit 66. This, as I set up with a 22 pinion gear, this had potential of 70 plus, probably about 75 miles per hour. So just change the tires out, and you guys see it wasn't wheeling crazy either. It kind of handled it. And I know I could have did more to lower the truck down a little bit, but with the tires ballooning and stuff, I just wasn't gonna go there. But you can thicken the differential oil to handle that. But I'm trying to run it stock out the box with just doing mild modifications to it. So drones and dogs on that Red Cat. The one thing I wish Red Cat would have did with that, it looks good, all this and that, but they did not change the differential settings. It still kind of has a direct drive. I wish they would at least put a slipper clutch or a center diff in it. That's one reason why I have not pulled the trigger on that one just yet, because and I still believe it has that weird pitch. It's not 32 pitch, it's not 48 pitch, it's not mod one. I think it's like 0.08 or something. So it's kind of hard to find pinion gears for that. And I wish that they would have, when they did that upgrade, changed that out too. But if you look through all my YouTube videos, stuff, the Red Cat Volcano I did years ago, I think it's in some of my top 10 videos. But I wish they would have changed it. You would have to go in and spend money to buy parts for that. So Fred, I don't think I'm gonna do that. I haven't had a chance to check the temperatures yet. It's been so cold, it hasn't been a need to. But as the weather warms up, I will be checking some temperatures, and then if I add a fan, and I'll let you guys know. GeForce Fan has some great fans for this, and then Power Hobby serves some mounts and stuff for them. But it's been fine so far, and it may just need a heatsink on there, so we'll see. Haven't been able to check those temperatures too much, so. Eric, so Team Corrali has did some upgrades on their durability, and this is the first car that they've done their upgrades to, especially these pillow balls in the front. That hasn't broke. You guys know that I had some of the V1 cars, and I did a light cartwheel, and they broke. I mean, I was jumping up a small hill, and it barely landed in a cartwheel, and that was the V1, and the pillow ball broke, and I was like, man, whoa. And I had some issues with the V1. Then they came out with their kind of version 2, and those were strong, but the pillow balls in the front still had issues. Now, they did do a release early or late last year where they let people kind of email them, and they would actually send you the upgraded drive shafts for the pillow balls for the front. These right here, they cost you, I think it was like you just paid 10-15 bucks for shipping, and their newer versions have the heavy duty ones. So I don't think that's going to be an issue with that. That was one of the major things that people had, and they corrected that, because I have flipped this car, tumbled this car, and have not had it popped out, not once. So the durability has been great for this vehicle. They got the Kronos XTR out. If they got that right, I think they're good going forward. I did not. Yeah, 4S with the 15. No, I didn't. I think it might have been in the high 40s when I ran it, because I think when I did it the other day, the battery went low and I tried to get a charge on. I took it out. I ran it down the street and came back, and I think I was at about 48 or 49, but it wasn't a full open run. I wasn't able to get it, and I just said it was getting late and I had a million and one things to do. So, but a 15 is the sweet spot. I think if you turn the punch setting up to 5, because it is set at 3, and you might be able to get away with a 13 with just doing some wheelies, but if you do a 14 or 15, just check your temps. But so far, this 15 tooth has been the sweet spot for this. And I am running these high voltage Z LiPos in there. So these are 15.2 volts. I'm just trying to see if this speed control and stuff can handle. So far, it's been good, but it hasn't been warm outside either. So consider that. Yeah, Jose, I'll try to do that if I come back up that way. So. What's going on, Snoopy's RC? Appreciate you joining. If you guys are joining, I appreciate you smash that like button. We're just kind of having an open Q&A where you guys can ask questions on this Team Corrali Sketer. I've had it for about a week. I've put it through its paces, and I want to make sure I answer you guys' questions on this vehicle. And you maybe want to know how does this compare to other vehicles. So I'd like to answer that for you while we're here. So, oh, Barry, oh, they did. I have to check those out. I was trying to put those low C tires and wheels on here, but the offset has to be wide for it to fit, and they kind of rough. So I didn't. That kind of idea was thrown out the door. So Just love. I don't know if you can use this or want to use this motor on 6S off road. I guess it's going to depend on what application you use it in. I mean, it is a 2150 motor. If you do it, I suggest you check your temps. You run it, you check your temps, and that's one of the biggest things whenever you kind of change things out to make sure you check your temps, especially when it starts getting warmer outside. So sweet, big muscle. He says he has one. He put a 17 in it. Have you GPSed it at 17 yet? Because I put a 20 in it. I think you can probably squeeze about a 21 in here, but that's if you're doing speed runs. And I was just trying to get this out to see how it would handle with kind of its stock configurations, and it handled actually pretty well. So no, I haven't seen those tires either, Jose. There's a lot of stuff coming out in the RC world, and sometimes I try to keep track of it, but we got stuff to do outside of RC, so I'm not always able to keep up with everything latest and greatest. And there's a lot being released. I mean, I think every week something new or a new body, tires and wheels, or something that can modify, make something stronger comes out. So, all right, so there hasn't been too many questions about this. I guess pretty much they've either been answered a little bit earlier, or you guys kind of saw it in the videos that I've run. So I guess that helps that there's not a lot of questions about this. I don't think they have metal chassis braces out yet, but I'm pretty sure they're working on it. And if they may have a pre-release for it, but it doesn't really need it. It hasn't needed it. I mean, with this here and the way this is constructed in the front, I mean, it's pretty solid. I mean, you can get them if you want, but it didn't really need it. I mean, I even did a double backflip earlier. I wish I would have filmed it, but I was just out doing stuff a couple of days ago, and I did land bad, and I thought something may have broke or something like that, but it was fine. So it doesn't really need it, but if they do get it, you can get it for extra insurance. So okay, I appreciate sending those pictures to me. Yeah, I think it's gonna be warm everywhere tomorrow. Just about. I think it's gonna be in the 50s, mid 50s tomorrow here. So um, nothing that I think you need to do for this when you get it. I think that just check your wheel nuts because these are the standard ones. They're not straight or anything like that. So that is one thing that they did not do to this, and I wish they would have upgraded that. But check your wheel nuts to make sure they're tight. Maybe you can just take a dab of Loctite, blue Loctite, just a little small smidgen of it, and put on it. But check your wheels to make sure that they are actually tight, so you won't lose when I strip the wood as you're driving. Other than that, the body pins, of course, on the body broke as I was kind of flipping it. And the front bumper is possibly going to be a weak spot if you're running and jumping and hitting this because that'll probably break there. But other than that, it's been pretty solid, guys. I mean, if parts break A arms and stuff like that, rear hub carriers, they are compatible with their 8 scale stuff. So shocks and tires have been good. These are the same shocks they use on their 8 scale buggies. I've never ever had a problem with any of Team Corrali's shocks, nor their tires, believe it or not. Even on my Chronos and Punisher and stuff, I've run those hard and they ballooned up like pizza cutters and never came off. So they pretty much got that down pat. And they pretty much got speed. And I think some people were expecting this to go a little bit faster. 43 was fine. With the 15 in it, we're probably doing, I'd say, between 45, 46, and about close to 50. And that's fine with the two. Everybody kind of has their own things for running in the snow. Chris asked about tips for snow. So since you guys are on, I'll tell you what I do when I run my cars in the snow. I do take some WD-40. I do spray it kind of real lightly over the car. I don't saturate it with it. And for my LiPo, I actually put it in a Ziploc baggie and seal it up. And that's so that the LiPo won't get wet. Because sometimes when you're running, some snow can get on your LiPo and it can actually absorb through the battery case and then it's inside the battery. So I make sure that I have it in a Ziploc bag and make sure it breathes a little bit too. Then as I'm running and I kind of check it periodically, sometimes that snow can pack on your car. And if you have it geared pretty high, I would recommend you go back to the out of box gearing if you're running in snow, because that snow, as you guys saw in some of my snow videos, even though it wasn't a lot of snow, it can pack on the car and weigh the car down. So consider it's going to give the car extra weight for it. But after I run it, I usually have an extra pack or something I can just take in it, and I may drop it a few times to get some of the snow off, and then I'll shake it off, and then I'll run it in the air. And then I bring towels. Now, it's saying like it's a lot, but it's actually keeps your car running good. I bring towels and I kind of wrap the car up in a towel, and I turn it upside down and put it back in my car so it can drip off. And then I come home and I wipe it off. Then I take a little bit of WD-40, I spray it on the screw stuff, and I wipe it off. And you can use an air compressor from a computer or something to dry it. It sounds like a lot, but in the long run, it'll help, especially if you're running it in the snow, you run in the street, and they're putting salt down. I mean, at that point, you may want to actually kind of rinse it off a little bit to get that salt off your car. So, hope that helps out a little bit. I know that was a pretty winded, but got a couple more people joining. Appreciate you smash that like button. We're live with the Skeeter. We'll probably stay live for just a little bit longer. Um, I appreciate that, Laser One. Yeah, I figured you could do something like that, Barry. I just haven't had a chance to do it. I try to keep these cars stock, except for changing maybe some gearing or a speed control out before I start adding stuff to it, because I want to see how it handles stock out the box before we start doing a lot of stuff to it. So now that it's been about a week, I'll start probably doing some stuff to it. I may just keep it as it is because it actually runs real good. So, and I do have some paddle tires. I just haven't been able. We haven't got any snow or anything. I mean, the beach is. We got a man-made beach, but that's okay. But yeah, Power Hobbies has got some good power paddle tires, and they got them in different sizes. I got some of the ones that are probably about a little bit bigger than these, but it comes with 12, 14, and 17 millimeter hexes. So they made sure they cover kind of all areas with that. So Kevin said, does it feel similar to the Max when driving? The Max without the wide kit, this does handle better. The Max with the wide kit, that the version one still wheelies a lot more than this one. Handling wise, it's kind of hard to determine because this one handles good, and the Max V1 does wheelie a lot. So you hit the I mean, you hit your throttle and it's just wheeling out. You hit the throttle on this one. This is set at punch setting 3. It doesn't really wheelie up, and I think this will get it off the line. The Max V1 is going to be faster. That goes about 53 to 55 miles per hour out the box. You guys saw this is about 43 to 45, so there's a difference in speed with that, but I don't think Team Corrali created this to really be a speed car. What's going on, Bang? We are just going live, and we are trying to do any live QAs you guys may have. After running the fire team for a while, what's your thoughts on it? The fire team is the bomb. It really is. Arma nailed it with that car. They not only nailed it, they knocked the ball out the park. It went in the parking lot, broke somebody's window, and then it bounced out their car, and then went on the highway, and then came back to the ballpark and still tagged the guy before he got to home plate. So I think they'll do a lot more with that platform. I think they'll do a truck conversion, which they should, with that, because I don't think they have like a monster truck, like a real monster truck out there. So I think that they should do it with that platform. I think that'd be great. All right, appreciate you stopping by, RC Master. Have a good night. Yep, Kevin, I have it in my Mojave EXB. He asked me, did I have I ever tried a Corrali setup? Yep, it is in my Mojave EXB, and I believe I have a 16 tooth pin gear, and that thing gets up. I may put that Corrali setup in this Hobio this Hobio VS2 buggy. I'm not sure. I may just kind of go with a 2200 kV motor. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with that, because if I'm gonna take it to the track, I want to make sure I got some power. And I only have, I think, one motor in ESC left. So I got to think about how I'm going to do that. I may just use the Corrali motor in a different ESC, but we'll see. Yeah, Chris, get that out, get that going. So guys, I'm gonna probably end this in a few minutes. If you're just joining, or if you have been joining, you haven't pressed that like button. I appreciate it if you do it. Any other questions about this? There hasn't been that many, and I'm not sure what questions you guys may have. But this has been a good truck. I know for some people may be a little expensive. I'm not gonna take the $489 price tag lightly because for some people that's a lot of money. It is a lot of money. I'm not gonna say it. For some people it is 500 bucks, a little bit over 500 when you add tax into it. So you want to know, are you getting what your money's worth? And I say compared to a couple other things out there, it's good. I mean, the competition is going to be the Red Cat Landslide. You can't really say Kaiju because the Kaiju is a 6S truck. Most of the other ones are going to be kind of 6S based with this. And then, of course, you have the Armor cars, but they're about $100 cheaper with that. So competition wise, I don't think there's too much competition with this. We're waiting on Armor to release their 4S line to see what they do with theirs. If they'll do updates to it or what they'll do for it, I have no idea. But right now, this is one of the latest, greatest, newest releases of 2020. I think so far, the last couple of cars I got for 2022, the last couple of cars, including this one for this year, has been good. So I think these companies are stepping up, and they know what we want. They know we're bashing. They know we're running. They know we're doing all kinds of stuff. So, and I see some comments coming in while I'm up here yapping. Will the max V2 tires and wheels fit for the Sketer? They probably will, but the offset may not be wide enough. You do need to have a half offset for these wires, or a wide offset. You don't want to get the zero offset because the Sketer is kind of thin in its width. But they probably will. I haven't tried them. I can't remember how wide that offset is on those, if it even has a wide offset. So, well, guys, I'm gonna end this. I appreciate you guys joining. So far, it's been so good. Not too much slop. You guys see this here. It's gonna have a little bit there, but it's been a good truck. It's been a good truck. So, ooh, somebody just named the price of that fire team there. Oof, that's expensive up there. Oof. All right, guys. Appreciate you watching, and I will see ya in the next video.